going on, YouTube? Salos back with another video. Still sober today. Hope everybody had a good winter solstice. Today's video is gonna be only black metal, pretty much, except for like one. So my music listening seems to go through phases. I'll be obsessed about one style, then move on to the next, move on to the next. So all I've been listening to is black metal, specifically Norwegian black metal and some ambient. I haven't been as obsessed about Norwegian black metal, at least how I am at this moment, for a very long time. I'd say since the beginning of me getting into Norwegian black metal and learning about the history, all the different bands. So I got some Norwegian classics, the ones that I listened to during the winter, a few that I've been spinning a lot. Pretty much everything I'm going to be showing today is just stuff I've been listening to. But if you guys are curious what we are listening to in the background, you should know it. This is Burzum's Philosophum. This is a lot of people's favorites. We're listening to the last ambient track on this. A lot of people don't dig that Burzum ambient stuff, but that's what got me into electronic music, was the Norwegian black metal bands that had ambient intros or outros or just songs in themselves. One more cool thing to show you guys. So I picked this up at Full Moon Productions, like an online store. I've been very happy with the quality of all this shit that I've gotten. I've got my Dark Throne poster, Moonblood poster. They have a shit ton of Burzum posters. Of course I had to buy them all. They're not expensive at all. And the shipping from Europe's pretty cheap. So I haven't framed this yet, but there you go. Very nice. It's like a reprint from the original Misanthropy one. Misanthropy released a big poster like this in the 90s. And my Burzum collection will never end. I'm on the search for Burzum shit all the time. And I've been looking for that poster forever, so just to have a reprint of it. Actually going to replace this Bathory one right here with that Burzum one. So that's pretty cool. On the same subject of Burzum, we have my favorite Burzum album. This is Burzum's 1994 album, De Visle Septoros. So stylistically, that Burzum changed after the Aske EP. They became, I don't want to say more ambient, more atmosphere, and like Detsum Engang Var was more riff oriented and melody oriented, but this is really atmospheric, very cold sounding. And my favorite black metal album of all time. Detsum Engang Var was my favorite one for the longest time, but this one really grew on me. Just the atmosphere on this, there's nothing else like it. You guys all know it, but probably my favorite one to listen to in the winter. And this, we haven't had snow at all, and we just got like a foot and a half the last 2 days. It's super foggy outside, and this has just been perfect. So the cover, Kittelsen, Norwegian painter from the 19th century. Gatefold. Misanthropy, Sinefane. More Kittelsen. So this passage right here is dedicated to Fenriz and Demonaz. You got some lyrics over here. And more Kittelsen artwork. And I'm sure you guys all know, but if you don't, De Visle Septoros means until the light takes us. Extremely happy to own this. My Burzum first press collection is almost complete, but this is really a highlight in my collection. So this was limited to 2,000 copies on this white and ashy gray, or no, like a gray color, black. Really dig these labels on here. I got this for a really decent price. I got lucky. I got this from a seller from Japan, and everything's pretty mint condition, and I'm extremely happy with the price that I paid for this. So, talk if you don't know it, man. I also had the repress. This is one of the first albums I bought on vinyl. So I listened to this a lot when I first got it. Just having version was cool on vinyl. But over time, I became more disassociated with this album. And for this being my favorite black metal of all time and not spinning it on vinyl at all, it just didn't call me off the shelf. And that's sort of where my buying habits are tending to go, is shit that as soon as I get it, I'm going to put it on the turntable and I'm going to continue to go back for it. And just this repress wasn't one of those things. It would be there and I would always skip over it. The sound qualities, it's okay. It's pretty good for black on black, I should say, but it's not nearly as dynamic. There's not that big of a difference, but I can still hear a difference. So, but since I got the first press, I've been listening to this album a lot. So this is pretty close. Took away the dedication to Fenriz and Dimaz. The colors are a bit off. This looks more like towards the Hellion, the Brazilian first press. Still looking for that one. So the pictures are shifted a little bit. I actually enjoy these colors better. The white just really pops out on that. But you guys all know it. So next one, this one is related to Hivis Setros. This is recent repress. I haven't owned this until this came out. This is the Battles in the North by Immortal. So you got Demonaz and a bath on the cover. Iconic photo. Originally released in 1994 as well. Don't believe this came with an insert or anything as such. But super fast, a blitzkrieg, super cold. Just a fucking magnificent album. And this is even related as in the vinyl cover of what color. It's got the Immortal labels, the gray with the black swirl, or marbled. Picked up a couple of these represses, released originally by Osmos. It's an Osmos repress from 2017. If you haven't picked these up, these are super great quality. The jacket's glossy. Don't mind glossy jackets. Kind of leave smudges, but I take care of my shit, so really, really cool. Jacket's heavy. Fuck, man, I'm extremely happy to own that one. Next up, so the way I got into black metal it was more traditional, I guess. I didn't get into bands like Cradle of Filth or Dimmy Borgir. I just recently got into Dimmy Borgir, at least their first album, like a year ago or so, and that album's amazing, I have to admit. But I started listening to first wave black metal, Celtic Frost, Holocausto, Sarcophago, Poison. But one of the bands I really obsessed about at the time was Sodom. So I've showed In the Sign of Evil before, but this is probably it's a toss-up between In the Sign of Evil and Obsessed by Cruelty. God, this is such a classic, man. And I know a lot of the, I don't want to say younger black metal fans, but newer black metal fans, they sort of skip out on this 80s stuff, but this is absolutely essential. Did not get the repress of this. If you've gotten the repress, let me know how they are, how the quality, how the sound is. Especially if you have the originals. I like to hear the comparisons in sound, sort of pick which one sounds better to listen to. But these 80s albums, I like to have the first presses of these as well. So you got the classic artwork. Came out in 1986 on Steamhammer. This is the Metal Blade pressing from the same year. Badass photos. Check that dude out. Came with the insert. Got this from my buddy Todd. Got this for a decent price as well. If you can get this, definitely get this, man. Lyrics. So the vinyl is black, of course. I used to be all caught up in the colors of different things, but actually I prefer black now. This is pretty thin, not as thin as some of like the Brazilian shit. Metal Blade. You find this for cheap, pick it up. Listen to this shit all the time. One of my first obsessions. So I actually have a Persecution Mania patch in here. And something special that I've had hanging up on my wall and on the back of my jacket for a long time. This is an original back patch from the 80s. It's a little offset, but still cool. I don't know if I'll ever take this thing down. One of my favorite bands. Next up, this is a weird release. Something I picked up randomly. This is Kreng with Grimoire. I really don't know too much about this. I was browsing at a local record store and they have a bunch of electronic stuff like under their tables or something. I pulled out a couple crates of records and I seen this thing. This thing caught my eye. Just with this weird looking picture right here. Kind of occult looking on the back. Different symbology stuff. I don't know how to describe this. It's not dark ambient. It's really, really dark, really cold. There's like violins and cellos and you just need to hear this. This is really unexplainable and really good. Listen to this so much. One of my favorite blind buys. I got extremely lucky with this thing. I would have never found it. So I emphasize you going out and shopping at the records and just, if something catches your eye, take it home. You can always sell it later if you don't like it. Take it back. Trade it in. Yeah, I don't buy and buy stuff a lot, but this is really good. Next up, this might be my favorite album of all time. It's a toss-up between Monotheist and this, but this one means a lot to me. So I picked up the recent repress of this. I actually have 3 copies of this. I picked up an original noise pressing, complete with the poster insert. It was mint except out without being sealed. But I just have the repress and this one to show you today. Now a little rant about this repress. Very, very nice quality. Comes with a nice book. A few things in the book that I don't want to say that they irritate me, but they're unnecessary. So the classic Giger artwork. My dad has this tattooed across his back. Pretty solid. Really close to the originals. Celtic Cross logo up there, or written up there, more like the Trypticon packaging. Originally released in '85, I believe. 3rd release. Gatefold. Now, the one gripe I have with this thing is I was very, very excited to get this thing. Not only for like all the extra cool shit that it comes with, but for like an updated sound quality on this. And I was sad to say that when I put this on, the not the recording, but the production on this is so fucking thin. Like even the drums sound thin compared to the original pressing, and I was expecting this to be better. Maybe I had different expectations for it, but I think them met, and especially because Tom fucking G. Gordy, this man right here, he did it, and so I was expecting it to be great, and sad to say, I'm extremely disappointed with the sound quality on this. The original, it just sounds so much heavier, I guess. Like the guitar sounds so, like a lot thicker. So if you can get the original of this, or if you have the original, you can compare the sound and tell me what you think, or if it's just me. So there's lots of cool pictures in this. Emperor's Return is actually in this too. I love this picture of Tom G right there. But fucking huge book. Then I have the original. You can see it's really close. But this one, it sounds just like the noise pressing. It's pretty much identical. But fuck, man, tell me what you think on the sound quality. I heard a lot of people talking about how good it is, and I'm in the opinion of the repress. The packaging is great. I love having like a poster and all the extra shit that it comes with, and I think it comes with like rehearsal or demo tracks or something. But I'm really sad on the quality. If you haven't heard this for some reason, my favorite songs would be The Usurper, Dawn of Megiddo, and Necromantic Screams. They have a horn, I forget what type of horn is playing on this during those songs, and it sounds super triumphant. So the reason why I bought another original pressing of this one is a bit fucked up. I'm not sure what it is. There's like no corner damage, but it seems like some of the paint came off or something. So this came with the original insert, some Noise International order form, and Prowling Death order form. Not a lot of copies come with this nowadays. I think there's a difference in the shades of the colors, possibly. I actually like the color of the repress better than the original. I'm colorblind, so I don't know the difference in color. I just know I like that one better. So if I didn't mention already, this is the Combat, the American pressing with the green label. And even for this being like a super thin vinyl, this sounds great. I don't know what it is about that repress, but I'm happy to have it, but I'm kind of irritated with the quality of the sound. So, yeah, let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below. I should have like a discussion video popping up on YouTube this Thursday. You can follow me on Instagram. It's the same as my YouTube handle, I guess. I post records and artwork and photography shit. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, unsubscribe, dislike. I don't care. Peace.